Don Slott leads off and evidently took the bat away. No strike call made. I remember when Frank Howard played left field for the Washington Senators. He would move back and forth and have a patch of grass just worn completely out. He never stood still a second. One of the most nervous men I ever saw in the outfield. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, he was a big enough guy to wear a patch out, or he could wear a hole in the outfield.
Wasn't he? He come to spring training and put weights on his shoes for all spring training. Put about a 3-5 pound weight on each shoe. Grounds it right at Smalley. Roy waits on it, knows he has plenty of time, and throws him out. 1 away. The Yankees are leading by a score of 4-3, 1 away here in the top of the ninth.
How much did Frank Howard weigh?
Oh,
300?
Right around 300. I think they listed his playing weight somewhere around 270, 280.
My goodness. He didn't need any leg weights.
He did it. He would do that to take off weight, really, in spring training, as the story was circulated. 2 guys seemed to come awful heavy to spring training were Frank Howard and Boog Powell.
Yeah.
Powell came in 1 year at 300 pounds. That's Sheridan. He's the first man Murray faced when he relieved Shane Raleigh in the 6th inning, and he struck Sheridan out on 3 pitches. Ball and a strike.
Del Murray's got good location on his ball now. He threw him a good fork ball on the outside part of the plate, and then he tried to bust the fastball in on him.
He looks comfortable on the mound. That's in the upper deck, out of play. Ball and 2 strikes.
I never did like to face Del Murray. I didn't like that fork ball that he had. I didn't like that hard sinker that he threw.
What pitch was it you hit for the home run that broke his consecutive?
Fastball.
Fastball?
Yep.
That evens the count, 2-2. Three and 2. 247 and a third innings without allowing a home run until he threw a fastball to you, huh?
That's a lot of innings pitched.
And, Mattingly! How about that play? I never thought he'd get that one. Well, look at the high fives in the stands over that one.
Well, this is a line drive right at Mattingly, and he times this ball perfectly and makes a tremendous leap in the air. And that saves a double for the Yankees. Great play by Don Mattingly. He's a good defensive first baseman.
He came to play, didn't he? All right, there are 2 down. Oh, what a play by Mattingly.
I don't think Mattingly likes Columbus that well. He probably likes the town, but he knows that there's only one place to play, and that's in the big leagues.
That's right. Well, he's got that 100% right. UL Washington tries to bunt himself on and fouls it up. UL is 0 for 4 and 1 for 17 in the series.
You know, George Brett was 0 for 10 before he got his single up back in the 1st inning.
Yeah.
0 for 10 is like a major slump to a guy like George Brett.
That's right. Billy Martin just moving Kemp back a little bit in right field. So it appeared. Kemp took a couple of steps.
Well, the thing you want to do here, Frank, is not let anybody. We just take a look at Billy Martin there, and they don't want to give anybody an extra base hit if they can afford not to. So they'll try to they'll play a little deeper now, the outfielders were than they would early in the ball game, because they want to keep the ball in front of them.
Now Billy wants Kemp to go more towards center and move to his right. That's what he wanted. Now Kemp sidling to his right. No ball, 2 strike count on Washington. 2 outs. The Yankees lead 4-3. Listen to the fans in the background. And look at them.
They want this strikeout, Frank, and I know Del Murray wants it too.
Ground ball, and Smalley cannot get it. Base hit for Washington.
What a big base hit by UL Washington, and the reason for that is because it brings up George Brett.
Well, Billy Martin is on his way out to the mound.
And we take a look at Goose Gossage, who is now up in the Yankee bullpen. And looks like Billy has signaled to the bullpen. And I assume that it will be Goose Gossage who will be coming into this ballgame.
All right, here's the challenge. Brett with the bat and Gossage with the ball. Brett is 2 for 4 in this game. The tying run is at first base and 2 out. Deep left field, but slicing foul. And both Gossage and I can heave a sigh of relief. UL Washington back to first base. The Yankees with a 1-run lead. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's gone. And now the Royals have the 1-run lead. George Brett has just homered, and Billy Martin and the Yankees want the bat. Look at Martin.
Well, what they're talking about, Frank, is that he's got too much pine tar, and you've got to have a certain amount of distance from the trademark of the bat and the pine tar.
And Nettles is leaving the field as if the game is over. No, he's just coming in.
I'm not sure. They might have a legitimate gripe. And the umpires are going to get together. George Brett looking around and wanting to know what's going on. And the umpires are going to get together and talk about this thing.
Well, Billy Martin bounced right out of the dugout.
I've seen it called before, Frank. You are not allowed to have a substance of any kind above the trademark. And I can't tell from here because everybody's huddled around the bat. I cannot tell from here if it's up too far. And now they're feeling it. See, to see if there's some sticky stuff around there.
That's Nick Bremigan with the bat.
This is going to be an interesting call.
Well, Brett isn't sure whether he has a home run yet or not.
Now the umpires are going to walk away and talk about this and go over the rules and examine the bat. See where the pine tar, see the label, the trademark is?
Yep.
See the brown substance there?
It does look like it's
that's pine tar.
It looks like it is.
Now you are not allowed to have that pine tar up that far on the bat. Billy Martin walking around waiting for the, which might be an important decision.
First time in a long time I've seen the umpires huddle this long and have a meeting over it.
Well, they're going to see what's going to happen. They're going to...
Now that is the plate umpire, Tim McClellan, with the bat in his hand. Now they're going to measure it across home plate.
Well, I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, the Yankees win. He's out.
Yes, sir.
Brett is out. Look at this. Brett is out. And
he's steaming mad.
He is out and having to be forcibly restrained from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan. And the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3. Brett is called out for using an illegal bat or with illegal substance on the bat.
Like I said, I have seen this before, Frank, and Gaylord Perry just took the bat away from home plate umpire Jim McClellan. He's going to take the bat. They're going to take it so they cannot take it into the American League office or wherever they take it to be examined.
Well, a Yankees security person and one of the umpires quickly are chasing whoever has the bat. Jose Martinez is holding Brett. Bobby, I've never seen this in my life.
Well, I've seen players called out for using an illegal bat, but never so an important hit by a home run and then been called out to put the Royals ahead. George Brett was fighting mad, and whether he has a cause to be mad or not, I don't have any idea. The umpires made a decision.
Bobby, let me say this to you. The fact that they tried to take the bat away and secrete the bat lends credence to the umpire's call, in my estimation.
It could be, because what will happen, Frank, is that the umpires will take that bat and examine it, and we still see Dick Hauser and George Brett. They're still arguing the call now, but Rocky Colavito has moved in there.
I have to feel the fact that they would not allow the bat to be claimed by the umpires would certainly lend credence to the decision to call Brett out.
I would have to agree with you, Frank, because they took a long time to make this decision. They talked it over 2 or 3 times. We take a look at home plate umpire Jim McLeland, who made the call, and he might be waiting there for that bat to be retrieved. I'm sure with a controversial call like this that they will try to take this bat and have the American League office or whoever might be concerned, they probably want that bat examined. What a call. Like you said, I have never seen a call made like that for it to be such an important call and deciding a ball game.
I never have either. I have seen, I saw Greg Nettles lose a base hit when his bat split and they discovered cork in the bat. I broadcast that game. I think that is the only other time I have seen an illegal bat discovered during the course of the game.
Well, I've also seen bats that have nails that have been put in it to hold it, to keep it from chipping. But for a foreign substance to be on a bat, which they concluded, I guess, that the pine tar was too far up on the bat and not allowed to be around and that close to the trademark.
And the fact they laid the bat across home plate is just like using a yardstick or a tape measure. They know exactly how wide.
What I think happened there was, Frank, is that they were trying to decide if the contact of the ball made any contact with the pine tar being that far up on the bat. In other words, judging George's Brett's stance to where he would have made contact with the ball. So I'll be darned, I have never in my life seen anything like this.
I've said it, Bobby, so many, many times. You never go to a ball game that you don't see something you've never seen before. Not as dramatic as this, granted, but I have never seen it before. We'll be back, but, well, for the benefit of our network, the final score, the Yankees 4, the Royals 3, we'll be back. Well, Bobby Mercer, my last words on that telecast of July 24th were the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3. Whether you agreed with me or not, I don't really remember. But, as you know, we sort of fouled that one up, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to straighten it out tonight. The Yankees did not win the ball game 4-3. League President Lee McPhail ruled it was a legal home run by George Brett, and that's why we're here at Yankee Stadium tonight to pick up this game in the top half of the 9th inning. With 2 outs, and the Royals now leading 5-4.
You know, it was earlier in the day we weren't going to play this ball game, and then all of a sudden, after another ruling by a higher judge, I guess brought on by the American League office, they decided that, well, his say was the number one say, so here we are today to finish this ball game.
And we have a new theme song here at Yankee Stadium. Eddie Layton quickly learned how to play in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia on the trail of the Lonesome Pine. Let's take a look at the Yankees' defensive alignment right now, which may furnish you a surprise or two. Ken Griffey is at first base. Don Mattingly is at second base. Bert Cabaneris was there. Roy Smalley is at shortstop. He was there in the original game. And at third base, Greg Nettles. Dave Winfield is in left field. Now watch this next shot. Ron Guidry is in center field. That's Guidry playing center. And the right fielder is Steve Kemp. The catcher has to be Butch Weiniger because Rick Cerrone has an eye infection. Cerrone was in the July 24th game but unable to play tonight. And on the mound for the Yankees, right-hander George Frazier, and he'll be pitching to Hal McRae, who was on deck when Brett hit the 2-run homer.
Well, that's quite a lineup, Frank. I guess for 1 out, who knows? This might be something new. This might be the turnaround.
This is the second time in his career Ron Guidry has played center field, his career in the Major League.
Yeah, you remember who he took out of center field the last time?
Oh, wait a minute. An appeal play to first base.
Well,
And disallowed, and
right.
here comes Martin.
Well, we must tell the fans that these are not the same umpiring crew that was here before. Tonight's umpiring crew is Dave Phillips, George Maloney, Rick Reed, and Tim Welke, who were the umpires of the last night's game and the series before. They're going to appeal to second base now.
Smalley steps on second, and again the
Now, Billy
appeal
Martin's
is
coming out of the
disallowed.
dugout.
All right, now Billy can come out and say, wait a minute, fellas, how do you know that Brett touched second base because you were not here?
That's right. They cannot officially, I don't think they can officially give him a ruling because they were not here, so they didn't see it. Now, the last umpires that were here before this, before the original game was Tim McClellan. He was behind the plate. Drew Coble, Nick Brimmigan, and Joe Brinkman. And those four gentlemen are not here tonight. This is a new umpiring crew. So Billy Martin is out there, I assume, making a protest, saying, look, we saying that Brett missed the bases.
I have an idea that Dave Phillips right there, Bobby, may have a sworn affidavit from one of the umpires in the other crew. Of course, the umpires and the league office, if we knew this was going to happen, I'm sure they knew it was going to happen. So we add just a little more drama to the infamous Pine Tar game.
We might not be through yet. We might have a couple more.
Well, a handful of people here at Yankee Stadium. Of course, the judge did not rule until about 3:45 this afternoon, the final ruling that the game would be played.
Well, I would assume now
And it's being played under protest.
Right.
We just got the sign. There it is, the peace sign from the plate umpire, in this case George Maloney, that Billy Martin has protested this ball game.
undoubtedly that was not a sworn affidavit by the other umpire.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The Yankees.
Well, I don't think any of us are surprised that Billy did that or the Yankees did that.
No. He would have a right to do that because this is a different umpiring crew. And there's the crowd here tonight, all 34 of them. And Billy Martin just returned back to the dugout after making that protest. So maybe sometime we will get this first pitch underway.
What do you guess we'll get this game finished? Finally out of the books.
We might as well tell everybody they had the tarp on right about 10 minutes before this game started. There was a thunder shower in the area.
And a strike is called on Hal McRae as we do start playing. The first pitch of this game was thrown at 6 minutes past 2 o'clock on Sunday, July 24th. Go down in the books as the longest game in history, Bobby. No, not really. There have been suspended games picked up after a greater length of time. I'll tell you, I've never seen anything like it. I've been connected with baseball in some capacity for, well, let's see, 30 years now, and I've never seen anything like it. 2 balls and a strike on McRae. McRae in this game has gone 0 for 3. Grounded to third, walked, flied to center, and grounded into a double play.
This might be the shortest televised game that you've ever done, though.
Out of play. Not if we count the first 9 innings.
I mean, in one particular day. I'm not going to get technical, please.
Hey, there's the Royals bench.
That might be the replacements for, we might mention that George Brett and Rocky Colavito and Gaylord Perry are not here tonight. They were ejected from the ball game and suspended from this game, so they are not here tonight. Dick Hauser also is not in uniform. He was ejected too.
If McRae gets a base hit, he'll have a 15-game hitting streak. Just for the books. I'll tell you, one of the owners of the Kansas City Royals is here watching the ball game. Averon Fogelman, who bought 49% of the stock from Ewing Kauffman earlier this year. Billy Martin, the Yankee skipper. Colavito and Perry are on their way to Baltimore. Struck him out, and that retires the side. In the top half of the 9th inning, the Royals scored 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no Yankee errors, and nobody left on base. In the middle of the 9th, 5 Kansas City, 4 the Yankees. The announcement was made that the 4 umpires who were here for the original game, McClellan, Coble, Brinkman, and Bremigan, did sign a notarized affidavit stating that George Brett touched every base on his home run.
Well, I guess we've covered all the legal ramifications of this ball game.
Well,
now.
you reckon we have or not?
I don't know. If we don't, we'll find out later.
All right, here's the catcher. He is Don Slaught. And the pitcher is supposed to be Mike Armstrong, but that is Quisenberry.
Yeah.
They had announced that Armstrong would start, but Quisenberry is on the mound. There's a lot of drama around the first Yankee hitter. Don Mattingly will lead off the bottom half of the ninth inning. If Mattingly should get a base hit, Bobby Mercer, he would establish a new record for consecutive game hitting streak for a rookie in the major leagues. If he gets a base hit here, we are told it would count as a continuation of his hitting streak, which would give him 25. The streak now ended. The previous record, 23 consecutive games by Mike Vail of the Mets in 75. Ball one.
Well, his last hitting streak was, what, 15 games, right? And so this will be a continuation, if he gets a hit now, of another 10 games that lapsed in between that period of time.
Right. This is the one game out of the 25 he did not have a hit. He's been to bat only once. And it's a ball and a strike. Mattingly lined out to left. After replacing Steve Balboni, he came to bat in the 7th inning. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, I'm sure both teams feel, well, if we got to be here, we might as well go ahead and win it.
And a fly ball, and that will end the streak. Sheridan is there for the catch, and Mattingly's hitting streak, unless the Yankees tie it up and he should come to bat again, his hitting streak is ended. 1 out in the bottom half of the ninth. And now Roy Smalley. Oscar Gamble has moved out on deck. Gamble will bat for Guidry. Smalley has played the entire game, or did on the 24th, all the way at shortstop. Fly to center, single to center, and fly to center again. Ball one.
I suppose you could have done one of two things. If the first 2 guys got on, you might have could have let Guidry bunt the guys over.
Could have. Quisenberry at this moment, that is including the game since July 24th through night before last when he last pitched. Quisenberry has won 5, lost 1, and saved 32 games. This is his 51st appearance. 106 innings, 98 hits, 10 walks, 38 strikeouts. 2 balls and a strike, the count to Roy Smalley. We might mention that Willie Wilson was in and out of this game, so was Leon Roberts, so they're not eligible. In the air to left field. And Simpson on the warning track. 2 down. Two outs in the bottom half of the ninth. The Royals are leading by a score of 5-4. And now Oscar Gamble will bat for Ron Guidry. Oscar is hitting .286.
Well, after all this time and after all the media attention and everything that's gone on in the courts, it comes down to one man, Oscar Gamble. The Yankees now have 2 outs.
Ball one.
All the drama was built up to this particular point right now.
Yep. Boils down to Gamble and Quisenberry. Gamble has hit 7 home runs this year, 22 RBIs. And that may do it. Frank White over to John Wathan, and the Pine Tar game is over. The Yankees are 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The final score, the Kansas City Royals 5 and the New York Yankees 4, I think.